You know, as I sit here talking to you, every 66 seconds, an older adult in America is diagnosed with dementia. That means that in the time it takes you to finish watching this video, more than 20 families somewhere have just begun a journey filled with fear and uncertainty. I've been in this profession for over 35 years, caring for thousands of patients over 50, and I have to be honest with you, the greatest fear for many isn't pain. It isn't sleepless nights. It's that feeling of forgetting. Forgetting their children's names, forgetting their memories, even forgetting who they are. But what troubles me the most is that, often, the culprit isn't just age. It's not because you're getting old faster. It's because of those tiny pills sitting quietly in your medicine cabinet. Pills you believe are safe, necessary, even your daily companions. I've seen so many patients, people who were once sharp and energetic, suddenly become forgetful, easily distracted, irritable, and they blamed it all on aging. But when I reviewed their medication lists, I knew the problem was something else entirely. I remember a woman in her 60s named Margaret who came to my clinic. She was vibrant, loved gardening, loved her book club. But after just 1 year of taking sleeping pills to help her drift off at night, she began complaining about brain fog. She forgot coffee dates with friends, even how to care for her roses, something she had been doing for decades. And you know what? The culprit was closer than she thought. The very sleeping pill she trusted. Recent studies reveal that certain medications, even common over-the-counter ones, can shrink the memory center of the brain by more than 28% in just 1 year. The saddest part? 99% of older adults don't even realize they're taking at least one medication that carries this risk. And the pharmaceutical industry? They know. They have the data. But they're still making billions of dollars from those pills. I'm not sharing this to scare you. I'm sharing it to wake you up. Because you deserve to know the truth. And you deserve to protect your memory. That most precious thing that holds your stories, your moments with family, the bedtime tales you tell your grandchildren every weekend. Have you ever asked yourself, are the pills I take every day really safe? If you have, you're not alone. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 common medications that silently erode the memory of millions of people over 50. And more importantly, I'll share safer alternatives, so you can stay sharp and independent for years to come. Are you ready to hear a story that could change the way you look at the pills sitting in your cabinet? My friend, let's take a moment to sit down together calmly and face the truth. I'm going to tell you about 10 types of medications that, time and again, I've seen quietly dim the light in the eyes of the patients I've cared for. These stories aren't meant to scare you, but to help you understand that knowledge is power. And sometimes, just one conversation with your doctor can change your future. 1. Diphenhydramine, the easy-to-find friend that isn't so harmless. I remember Mr. Robert, 68, who came to me with a tired smile. Doctor, I just want to sleep well. In his bedside drawer was a bottle of Benadryl, something millions of people trust for sleep or allergies. What he didn't know, what most people don't, is that diphenhydramine is part of the anticholinergic drug group, which blocks acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that keeps your memory sharp. After just 1 year, his memory noticeably declined, and conversations became a blur. When he stopped the medication, it took months for his brain to start recovering. If you're using products labeled PM, nighttime, or allergy relief, check them right now. Talk to your doctor about loratadine, a gentler option that doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. 2. Proton pump inhibitors. Stomach relief, brain risk. One of my patients, Susan, 72, had been using Nexium daily for years to manage acid reflux. But slowly, she began forgetting small things, leaving her keys in the fridge, forgetting a pot on the stove. The same medication that soothed her stomach was silently blocking her body from absorbing vitamin B12, magnesium, and calcium, all essential nutrients for brain cells. Research shows a 44% increase in dementia risk for long-term PPI users. Work with your doctor to gradually taper your dose, switch to milder H2 blockers like Pepcid, or even try natural approaches like deglycyrrhizated licorice. 3. Bladder control medications. The memory thief. Then there was Helen, 74, a witty and intelligent woman. But after 2 years on oxybutynin for overactive bladder, she became forgetful, often losing track of her thoughts mid-conversation, and sometimes forgetting her way home during familiar walks. Like Benadryl, these drugs block acetylcholine. But even more dangerously, they cross directly into the brain and attack the hippocampus, your memory hub. The good news? Safer options like Myrbetriq exist, offering symptom relief with far less impact on memory. 4. Statins. When the heart saver harms the brain. I'll never forget Mr. James, a retired teacher, 70, once sharp and lively. He'd been taking statins like Lipitor for 5 years to lower cholesterol. But gradually, he began forgetting the names of his former students and sometimes even losing his way home. Our brains are made up of 60% fat, and cholesterol is essential for maintaining the myelin sheath that protects nerve pathways. When cholesterol drops too low, your brain starves, slowing down communication between cells. If you need statins, talk to your doctor about options like pravastatin or rosuvastatin, which are less likely to affect memory. 5. Benzodiazepines. The illusion of calm. I've met hundreds of patients struggling with anxiety or insomnia who were prescribed Xanax, Valium, or Ativan. At first, these pills felt like a lifeline, easing their anxiety and helping them sleep. But a few months later, they returned with a distant look in their eyes. Doctor, my mind feels foggy. I'm not myself anymore. Long-term benzodiazepine use not only leads to dependence, but also increases Alzheimer's risk by 51%. If you're on these medications, don't stop abruptly. That's dangerous. Instead, work with your doctor on a slow taper plan and consider safer alternatives like buspirone or CBT therapy. 6. Amitriptyline, the old friend for sleep and pain. One morning, I got a call from Linda's daughter, worried. Doctor, my mom keeps forgetting everything. I'm scared. Looking at Linda's chart, I saw she'd been taking amitriptyline nightly for years to manage nerve pain and help her sleep. Amitriptyline is one of the strongest anticholinergics, and studies show it can increase dementia risk by 54% with long-term use. Safer options include duloxetine, gabapentin, or even melatonin. 7. Paroxetine, the dangerous SSRI. Many people assume all antidepressants are safe, but paroxetine, Paxil, is an exception. It's the only SSRI with strong anticholinergic effects, reducing memory, focus, and even emotional regulation. I've seen patients, after just a few months on Paxil, become detached and foggy. If you or a loved one are on Paxil, ask your doctor about safer options like sertraline or escitalopram. 8. Antipsychotics. When the brain is silenced, I once visited a nursing home and saw Eleanor, 82, sitting silently in a corner, her eyes blank. She used to be the lively storyteller of the community, but after being prescribed quetiapine to help her sleep, she seemed to disappear inside herself. Medications like Seroquel, Risperdal, or Zyprexa were originally meant for severe psychiatric conditions, but now they're overused for mild symptoms like agitation or insomnia. They reduce dopamine in the brain, leaving people dull, detached, and with a 71% higher risk of dementia within a year. Tragically, most families don't even know this risk exists. 9. Anticholinergic polypharmacy. When multiple drugs gang up on the brain, I think of Walter, 75, who took Benadryl for allergies, oxybutynin for bladder issues, and amitriptyline for sleep. Each medication seemed harmless on its own, but together, They created a massive anticholinergic burden. Studies show that older adults with this level of drug load double their risk of dementia over a decade. What pains me most is that no one ever warned him. 10. Over-the-counter sleep aids. The sweet trap. Finally, we can't forget non-prescription sleep aids. The pills you can grab at any pharmacy. Many believe that just a little to help me sleep is harmless. In reality, these often contain ingredients that suppress acetylcholine, speeding up memory decline. I met Jean, 70, who thought taking just a little wouldn't hurt. But after 8 months, she was missing appointments and forgetting conversations minutes after having them. I'm sharing all this not to alarm you, but to remind you that your memory is worth more than any pill. The key is to review your medication list with your doctor or pharmacist. Sometimes, simply adjusting a dose or switching to a safer alternative is all it takes for your brain to start healing again. I've seen many patients regain their clarity just weeks after removing high-risk medications. You can do that too, and you deserve to do it. For yourself, for your family, and for the memories you hold dear. My friend, after everything I've shared, I want you to remember one thing very clearly. Medication-induced dementia is not a life sentence. Your brain is more remarkable than you think. It has the ability to heal, if we lift the burdens it's been forced to carry in time. I've witnessed this so many times. Robert, after sitting down with me to review his medications and gradually tapering off Benadryl, saw the light return to his eyes and his memory noticeably improve within weeks. Or Margaret, once worried about her brain fog, who now confidently drives herself to yoga class every morning. Change begins with one small decision: to sit down with your doctor and ask, which of the medications in my cabinet could be harming my memory? So today, I want you to take action. Write down every medication you're taking, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, and even supplements. Schedule a serious conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. Ask them to evaluate your anticholinergic burden and work together to find safer alternatives. You deserve to hold on to your memories, your laughter, and those quiet afternoons spent chatting with your children and grandchildren. Don't let those seemingly harmless pills take away what's most precious. Your brain is waiting for you to protect it, and that journey begins today.